Pass those to the side.
We'll see what tomorrow brings. Those could go to mine.
You wanna pass those to
Oh,
Mike
yes,
for me?
yes.
This one I think they looked at.
Yep.
Both sides, both directions.
Okay.
Pass me this, right? There you go. Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, I've seen this quote. Yeah. Well, it's big enough, but it doesn't surprise me. No, that doesn't surprise me at all.
What's that?
Just straight
Shipping?
on that. With a big awkward deal, it's gotta come LTL. That doesn't
It's gotta
surprise
be in
me.
big crates and.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. We deal with that all the time. Crazy things they don't.
You saw where I highlighted that one that had.
Yes, yes,
That's
yes,
the only thing.
yes.
Right, right, no, you can't do that. Not like that.
Ready? Yep.
Let's take a moment and pray. Our Lord and Father, thank you for your grace, your mercy. Thank you for the grace and the rain that you sent. Father, I thank you for the place that we live in, the community that we live in. Father, I ask for your blessing on the city in general and the city council in particular as they meet to discuss the business of the city. And as they make decisions, Father, I ask that you grant them wisdom. Father, I thank you for the organizations of Wheels and Meals and Hand in Hand Daycare and On Hand Economic Development that work to make this a better place. Father, I thank you for all of the other organizations in our city that do that. Father, I lift up the city employees as they go about their business, as they go about their work in the community. Father, I pray that you would keep them safe. And Father, I pray that, again, that you would give the council wisdom as they discuss the business of the city tonight. And in your son's name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Begin with the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Looking over the agenda, I'd move to entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. The minutes for last meeting is found on page 1 and 2 of your handout.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes as printed.
I'll second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. All right. Okay, before we start with unfinished business, we'll entertain any public input. None? Go ahead.
I thought a guy was gonna be here to talk about drainage by Titan Machinery.
Oh, yeah,
Friday got a call, we had a bunch of water in front of, is this on? There we go. Anyway, in front of, or I should say, east of Titan Machinery, lots of water. There's a culvert there that was just about underwater, which is the one we put in. And it's really flat. Where it goes under the highway, it's only using about that much of that particular culvert. So the downwind culvert is actually too high. I did get hold of Brad Letcher, who is the state guy out of here, and he's gonna send some guys and have them do some readings to see what we can do. He says typically when they put culverts in, it's with the flow the natural flow. I know that culvert that's there was there back when Gus Rosemore was working, so probably 95.
okay.
Don't recall. He retired in 98, so. Anyway, I said, well, if there's such a thing, can we do a tunnel bore type thing or something? And he thought that the state would be all right, as long as it was all right with the, with the drainage board, which is through the county. But until we get some more numbers, we really can't do much. Tunnel boring the state highway won't be cheap. So,
Is that something we have to take care of, or is that
Well-
something the state takes care of?
they were leading me to believe that.
That we are to take care of?
Yeah.
Who put it in?
They did a long time ago, like before Brad's time ago.
And I suppose some dynamics as far as elevation and things like that
Yeah,
change a
did
little
things
bit?
change? I don't know.
All right.
So Jason Wilhelm told me that since they had talked to you and got that contact information from you for the state guy, that's why he didn't show up tonight, because we knew it was just in that information gathering process, because he said you had said they were gonna have somebody come out. That's why Jason's not here.
Yep,
He
okay.
told me that today.
Oh, okay, I did
At
not
work,
know that,
so,
so,
yeah.
yeah, which is fine.
Yeah.
But, I know it's a pain. Water is both sides of the road, same depth, and they just can't get out of there, so.
Where would it flow if it did get out of there, Ron?
It's to the west.
To the west.
It goes, down both ditches to the west, and then goes in along the highway to about the middle of Dairy Queen, and then there's a culvert there, and then it goes back west under the highway.
Well, okay, and I'm just asking this, came to mind, that won't create any other issues of individuals who already have some of their culverts or,
It should
things in
follow
place.
it should follow the ditch, and it's not like it's a ton of, there was a lot of water sitting there, but if the culvert was in there correctly in the first place, as the water would come, it'd be getting rid of the water. The problem is it's gotta build up to a certain level before it can get out of there, because it's only flowing that much. But you want it to flow that much to get it out of there in a hurry and have some depth. I asked Dave, how many times we've cleaned that ditch out. He thought about 5, I thought about 3 times since he's been here. But it's so darn shallow. It's,
Well, the one by the Alco store is terrible. It's grown full of
Yep.
reeds and rushes
yep,
and,
was it 2 years ago when Venture put that little building in there?
yep.
Dave and I graded that with the mini excavator, and we literally went level all the way to that point because it's so flat. So we knew it was gonna hold water, but we couldn't cut any flow because the water's gonna sit in one spot anyway.
Does any of that water go over to the new pit? The
No.
storm? No?
No.
Is there any way we could
That's,
take some that way and help it?
it's an option, but it's like around 1,100 feet-ish. I Google Earthed it, and it wouldn't have to be a big pipe, you know. But it's a possibility. But if we could tunnel bore the highway, maybe it would be cheaper, cause it's only like roughly 70 feet Google Earthing. I mean, realize it's not set in stone, but we'd have 2 bores, because you gotta go there and where the scale is. So, you would have to tunnel bore 2 places, but maybe the cost of that would be higher than just
Any way
going.
you can just put kind of a cut in there, a gentle one, so they don't have to bang over it when they're moving machinery? I know it
I
costs
don't know
money to
about
move
I
dirt,
don't know
but
the depth, without, I don't know, I can't say one way or another, but I know what you're saying, just going over the ground versus underground, yeah. But it's a headache, and I don't have hair to pull, so,
It's a lot of water stands back
a lot of
there.
water, right. How's it today? Never did get over there.
It was better, considerably better. I think, did you do something out there then Friday?
I went out there Friday after I talked to you, and I just took the mini excavator, and I literally used the back of the bucket. I didn't cut.
You
I
just
just took
drug
the
it out.
back and drug it, because it was underwater, and there's at least 1, maybe 2 telephone lines that are about that far down below the dirt.
It made a big difference when you did
So
that.
nobody called, or I guess maybe they couldn't call, but anyway, by now, normally you know that.
No,
Cause
and
I know when we did that by Alco, I was cleaning that, and all of a sudden, there was a little black line there. We knew it was there. But normally it's 18 inches, and it was like this,
yeah,
so. So that was kind of the problem. I can't just go digging willy-nilly because of that. And you gotta call locate anything over
Right.
9 inches, so.
Okay. Ron, while I have you here, and I should have asked you this earlier, and I didn't drive by in the property. I know you've been working with some of the people with regard to cleaning up their property. Are we okay moving forward? with
I
some of
haven't
that?
been driving around myself. I've been trying to get things
Yeah.
going because I'm gonna be on vacation. But I know the one lot over here, it may not be perfect, but they did get a good load out of there. I haven't been over there to see what it's like now.
Okay. Well,
Because the guy that had the load asked me where to go with it. Cause it wasn't his they used his trailer, and I found a place to go with it, and
all right.
we dealt with it, so.
Well, we can keep an eye out on it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Any other questions for Ron? Okay, thank you, Ron.
thanks, Ron.
Yep.
Okay, any other, public input? Hearing none, we'll go to unfinished business. We'll start with, the second reading of the ordinance, and, the understanding is I only need to read the title of the ordinance. We need to go through the entire ordinance in and of itself. The first one, we are going to change a number. That's all it was, is the first time. And I'll just read the title, and I'll indicate the number we're changing. Still ordinance number 747. Ordinance for the purpose of amending the revised ordinance of the city of Miller, South Dakota, number 744. That's the correct number. To provide for the amending the electrical rates to be charged by the Miller Municipal Electrical System. Be it ordained by the Common Council of the City of Miller, South Dakota, that the city fee schedule listing the electric rates be amended, and the following as I read last time. So, without objection, we can move forward to a roll call vote. Without objection to reading the entirety in itself, like we can move forward with the roll call vote.
Motion and a second.
Motion and a second, yes.
So moved.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Roll call.
Yeah,
Roll
we will.
Roll call.
Okay. Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Alderman Price.
Aye.
Alderman Hargans.
Aye.
Alderman Wett.
Aye.
Alderwoman Lichty.
Aye.
Alderwoman Hargans.
Aye.
All having voted in the affirmative, we declare ordinance number 747 passed. Now, second ordinance is number 748. The ordinance for the purpose of amending the revised ordinance of the city of Miller, South Dakota, number 739, to provide for the amending of the water rates to be charged by the city, by the Miller Municipal Water System. Be it ordained by the Common Council of the City of Miller, South Dakota, that the city fee schedule listed, the water rates be amended as follows, and as I read last time. Without objection, I would entertain forego the reading of the entirety and entertain a motion to approve.
I'll
I'll
make
make
that
a motion
motion.
to approve that.
Okay? Second?
Sure.
Okay. Yes, roll call vote. Alderman Jones?
Aye.
Alderman Hargans?
Aye.
Alderman Wett?
Aye.
Alderman Price?
Aye.
Alderwoman Lichty?
Aye.
Alderwoman Hargans?
Aye.
All voting in the affirmative, I declare the ordinance number 748 passed. Okay, new business. We have new business as far as request of donations. As we know, we're ahead of the budget, so it's always good to have the additional information with regard to moving forward. So we'll ask Donna to come forward with the Meals on Wheels.
They're right here.
Okay, my name is Donna Engelman, and I'm here for the Wheels and Meals Corporation. Wheels and Meals is a private nonprofit organization providing transportation to the elderly and disabled adults of Miller and the surrounding area, to provide opportunity of independence in transportation to and from medical appointments, shopping, employment, and social engagements. We asked last year for 2,500, and we are requesting 2,500 again. Let's see, a detailed description of what those funds would be used for. Funds will be used as a local cash match, funds supplementing 25,300 in funding we are contracted to receive from the Department of Human Services, Long-Term Services and Supports, 8,435 or 25% of matching funds is required on the project's contract of 33,735. Any questions?
Any questions for Donna?
I make a motion, we do the requested donation to Wheels and Meals.
I'll second it.
Discussion? I just want to break down some of the figures that Donna has presented us, you know. Do you want to do that, Donna, or you want me
I
to?
sure can.
What, would you please?
Yep,
This gives you an idea just exactly with the services rendered by the Meals and Wheels.
okay, so do you want like what we did for business
Yeah,
last year?
The medical, you indicated.
Yep, I
yes.
sure can.
Yeah.
Last year, we did 2,525 rides, and that was of over 50 people. Medical were 818 trips, shopping and personal were 833, employment was 571, social and recreational were 294, and 9 were for nutrition.
Okay, thank you.
Yep,
Okay, we have a motion and a second to grant or to allocate the $2,500 to the Meals on Wheels. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Thank you.
thank you.
You betcha.
Thank you.
Okay, next, we have Hand in Hand Daycare.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Bailey Moore, and I'm the Hand in Hand Board President.
And I'm Clover Herdman, I am the director at the daycare.
Most of you are probably familiar with Hand in Hand, but it is a nonprofit daycare, nursery school, and preschool that has now been in operation for 51 years. We hope to continue that for another 50 years. And little background on us, we are at max capacity. And we also have a waiting list of almost 30 kids, and that wait list continues to grow and grow and grow. So with that, though, so do our overhead expenses. So we are kindly asking for your consideration in a $2,000 utility or heating assistance. Anything you want to add, Clover?
I don't think so. Like I said, it grows daily.
Yep.
Even on the weekends, I get phone calls to add. I had somebody asked, they're moving here in 2 to 3 years, and they asked to be put on the list because they know how long it takes to get in. So,
Yeah.
Do you get any donations from either the county or or the school district?
No, the only thing that we get from the school district is they own part of our building, so they pay for their portion of the building.
So they pay for their portion of the electricity and,
Yep.
Yes.
okay,
Yep, they use that section though, we
Yep.
do not, so, yep.
I cringe to ask this question, I'm only asking it as the former president of Rustler Roost and the understanding and dire need of care facilities in our
Yes.
area. Has there been any talk, or I know staffing is a huge, huge issue, and that's why the Roost is no longer open. I look at the need, and I look at staffing, and I look at expansion. Is there any of those discussions moving forward?
Yes.
I mean, that you can share, or would you like to share? I mean,
Yes, we have discussed it in-depthly with our board, you know, the daycare board. And unfortunately, we would be an awesome thing if we could get that schoolroom that is in our building. Cause we could add on another 18 kids, which takes off half of our wait list, you know, right there. But unfortunately, the school is at their max capacity
Yeah.
too. They can't give up that room. And so we have talked about that. We're looking into expanding onto our facility, but you know how long that takes to
Yes.
get done.
Yes.
You know how much that costs, and we'd have to find funding for all of that. So it all takes time. I'm currently working with the school system on a grant. We are cohorting together in the community here, so.
okay,
It's very exciting that our community is growing and growing and growing. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of young families moving to the area. And it's my personal opinion that between the variety of in-home daycares and this center, that Miller is in a pretty good place as far as childcare compared to other communities. I mean, so many communities are struggling right now. So many parents can't even think about going to work because they can't find childcare. So Miller's in a really good spot.
And I've
So we
been-
feel.
Yes,
So-
and I've been asked by multiple other communities to help them start theirs, like Madison, I've been and talked with them on, you know, like they look at our facility here, we have an amazing facility here, we have made great, you know, progress with the facility over the years. And Madison has asked me, Gettysburg is asking me for help, Highmore just asked me for help, and Willow Lake has asked me for help. I mean, and I'm willing to give whatever, and I work so closely with the home daycares here in town too, just because we know it takes all of us. We're
It's a community effort.
It's a community effort, and wherever we can get, you know, these kids in, so.
Clover, I commend you for your help in the other communities and both the daycare, helping our local individuals too with their daycares too as well, so thank you, so.
Thank you.
Any questions? Okay, I'd entertain a motion then to pass the request that Hand in Hand has asked for. So the total amount of funds received, or so you're asking for the total amounts of funds requested for 2024 is $2,000, correct?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Utility, that goes just electric,
that just goes to
it
electric.
just goes to their electric portion of their bill.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Discussion?
I got a question. Then does that just come right off the bill here? Okay. So it's not a 2,000 goes over there, then it,
No,
all right,
we just add it to their bill and it just credits it out until that 2,000 is gone,
cool.
which the 1,000 disappeared pretty quickly.
Okay,
So we appreciate any help we can get.
Thank
Right.
you.
any other further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
And thank you very much too, because it's, all these entities are very vital to our community. I mean, it's what makes us go, but we couldn't do it without those of you who are doing what you're doing. So on behalf of the council and the city, I want to thank all of you. And then that includes On Hand, okay? All right. Tanya, do you want to, next?
Speaking of which,
Yep.
I'm Tara Yost. I am the director at On Hand Economic Development. We're requesting funding for 2024, $132,000. The mission of On Hand is to maintain and assist in the expansion of existing businesses and support the growth of the new businesses as well, while striving to improve the economy and advancing a positive quality of life in Han County. We are a private, nonprofit corporation dedicated to improving the economic health of Miller and the surrounding areas. It's governed by a volunteer board of directors and employs a full-time executive director, a part-time handyman, and a part-time office assistant. As of today, On Hand has helped create over 400 jobs in Han County and loaned out over $1 million to Han County businesses through our revolving loan fund. We also have been working, we work with the businesses to attract, I'm nervous. So our job is to make Miller and the surrounding areas attractive for business owners, investors, and visitors. So we have our awning program and our sign program that I have helped since I started in April, get those going to improve our Main Street and the like. I also have been helping Clover with that grant, and her and I and the superintendent of the school have been together, and we're coming up with a plan to do the grant and then go from there. So I'm really hoping that we can get that for them because childcare is very important. Do you have anything else to add? Okay, I'll let you. Sure.
Lane Working Team, Board President. Some different things we always focus on. I guess as far as how we spend our money, I think we attached a 23 budget with our request. It's the normal bills. Biggest thing that takes money to operate is the community center. Utilities alone are around $24,000 a year. And of course, with a building that size, there's a lot of expenses. We're still waiting for one repair for the senior center air conditioning unit that's been broke down all summer. Part will probably finally come in this winter, but that's around $9,000. So I mean, it's just little things like that that eat up. We're always working on replacing doors. We got some flooring we need to replace. There's always things we need to keep doing to keep that building viable. The community center gets used pretty much every day. The Friendship Center enjoys where they're at. About every youth basketball and volleyball activity is held at the community center. Even in the summer, we have some camps there. So it gets used a lot, and also a lot for private, whether it's a wedding reception, business meetings. We just had an auction there this weekend. It gets used by, it's very diverse. It can be used by just about anybody who wants to have an activity there. The problem is some of it is for pay, some of it is free. And we try to facilitate with everybody to make it affordable for them to use, but at the same token, we have maintenance, cleaning, etc. So we try to get along with that. As a rule, we operate on a budget of about $245,000. We are asking some of it to come from the city, we get some from the county, and the rest of it, we get, money through some rents and some interest income, so, we're not 100% dependent on the city, but without the city, assistance, it would really, really affect what we do. Some things we're working on is a housing project. We are trying to entertain an additional hotel in town. Never ending, we're constantly trying to recruit a dentist to come into the community. Again, Tara touched on it, we're here for new businesses, but we also focus a lot on our existing businesses. She does a lot of business visits. Also, the past few years, there's been very good transition or succession with businesses changing hands. And we're always there in the background to help facilitate anything we can do to assist that. As far as even new businesses, we've got a few that are contemplating doing something. We're there to help facilitate, looking for locations, helping them here and there. A big thing right now is trying to help people with finding employees. We have a recruitment program where we can match some funds if the business matches some funds. So, and again, we've been helping out with the daycare, trying to help them. And the biggest thing they have problem with is labor. You hear that up and down the whole county. It's whether it's somebody on Main Street or a farm out south of Ree Heights. Finding labor is the biggest trouble, and we're here to help. And Tara's always available to help assist what we can do. But again, it takes the whole county to work together to do all this, because we can find employees, but then they may need daycare. All that goes into play. I know I have a niece that a friend of hers in a small town has to take their child 30 miles to daycare to come back to work. And you do that every day, it gets to be challenging. So, like I say, On Hand is always here for any business or any person. If they have any requests, we're always open to listen and see what we can do to facilitate that.
Okay. Yeah, Tara, thank
And I
you.
guess our big thing is, On Hand was kind of started in '88 with sales tax. That's been our big thing, is to try to make it grow. And I think the last 22 out of 23 years, we've had a gain in sales tax. Not a lot of towns and communities can say that. I still think that one year we did, it's just the way the state paid out the money. It came later, not during that year. So I push for getting shop local and push to get the sales tax where it needs to be. And if we can gain every year, that attracts businesses that are wanting to come here to look at that. So that's all I've got to say.
Okay. Any questions?
So how much does the company, you said you asked for funds from the county, so how much do they put in for On Hand?
We haven't received exact words, but I guess 30,000.
Okay, I just wondered.
That's
Just-
the unofficial.
Yeah, let's, this is for, refresh my memory and just also maybe for information of the public. Is there a certain percentage that we try to earmark of sales taxes to On Hand?
We've done, the last few years, we've done 10% of the last 2.5 years of sales tax. So we take half of 23 and all of 22 and 21 and do 10% of that. And when I
10%.
calculated that out, it was just around almost 100,000 would be that 10%. 99,000, what, 898, I figure that's close enough to 100,000.
Okay,
And the sales tax, that's going up from 89,000 last year, so the sales tax is definitely improving. And we are really, Bed, Booze and Board is going up also. I had to, well, we have to supplement the budget tonight by about 10,000 because it's going up, so we can pay them their 80% of that, so that's a good sign, other than it's, the cost of everything is going up.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
our trouble is, it seems like with the community center, any repairs, anything you wanna do,
Yes.
just, the price is just driven higher and higher and higher. And that's a big, there's a lot of square footage there, so it's, when something goes wrong, it costs money.
Okay? Any questions? Okay, the request is to go from 89,000 to 132, which would be a jump of 32,000 from what we've done in the last 2.5 years with regard to 10%. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
And I don't know if we want to wait and see how our budget works out after the finance committee meeting on this one to see if we can, what we can do.
If you have pocketed 100,000, in your projections, that's right at your mercy. We'd be happy with that.
okay, well, you know, we could either move forward with that request, or we could, because I think we have to meet with one more department, I think, and then with regard to that, and we're gonna do that tonight after the meeting.
We could make 100 work.
I see, I would be comfortable making that motion if that's what the normal calculation we do.
That's what we've been doing for calculation.
To make it
That way they get
100,000.
the benefit of the sales tax. They're gonna bring in
We
more
put
sales.
our wish, but we,
Yeah,
You always shoot high, right?
Hi.
Yeah.
but in the end, we understand. And we'll make it work.
Okay,
So it was a little over 100 was the.
Right at 100,
Right
it's
at
like
100.
99,989 or something, she said.
99,828.
I would be fine doing it either way if we wanted to wait to see if we could get closer to the initial request or
What,
do the 100, I would be fine.
so just
Either one of
for the, if the finance committee wants to look into it, what does that extra 30 grand do for you guys?
Well, it would help us with some projects. Well, it would help with community center needs. It would probably, we'll know more in November about the housing, development. That would probably assist there. With the dentist, I have no idea what that's gonna take to lure one here. That would be a very good incentive to help with that. Just knowing we still have a building that's available at this time, but it's completely empty, so,
Okay.
we might have to do some assistance there that, might have to come from somewhere, and usually it ends up coming from on hand, so,
but that was my question. We do have a facility if one opted to
And
come.
and we talked about it, if that facility would not be available, we'll find another. If there's a dentist that wants to come here, we'll find a spot for him,
Okay,
cause it's a big need in the community. I myself, I used to walk down the street, be done in an hour and back, and now it takes dang near half a day to go somewhere to go to the dentist, so.
And I got the Delta Dental truck to come and to do the cleanings, and I do
Yes.
have them scheduled this next summer, to actually do the dental work for the kids. But,
Tara, they were here for what, how many days?
4 days.
4 days?
And we saw 56 kids, and it totaled over $30,000 to $40,000 of work that they did for free. So
Wow,
for our
that's-
kids, that was wonderful. I was
Now-
really excited to get them. And then she did just email me and ask if July would work, and I said yes. I don't even. We'll drop everything. Just bring them. So
And this time was a dental hygienist, the next time will be a
dentist,
dentist.
hopefully they can find
And
one.
they can do the cavities and that kind of thing.
Oh, that's commendable.
That one is a cost, but we found, somebody that will pay the funds for that.
All right, Very good.
Nice.
I guess my feeling is, because it's still up in the air with the finance committee, let them talk about it and then see where we're sitting, and then if there is funds available to go over the bare minimum for some of the, with the intention of something like that for recruitment for dentists or something like that, if we can help out with that.
Okay.
Just not make a decision right now and then let the finance committee decide if we're gonna go with just the calculated or if there's more to go around.
Is there any
So,
advantage on our end to, let's say, give them the $100,000 and then for that leftover part of the request to do some or all of that in utility credits? Does that
It'd probably have
make
to be
any
a-
difference on our end? Does something like that work?
well, it's a good question. It's something
It's a
to,
good
you
question.
know, to look at
Instead of
with regard to that.
actually having money switch hands after that 100,000, do some sort of utility credit.
If we have an idea, I guess for our organization, we're gonna get at least 100,000. We're fine with that. If we get more, that's a win-win for us, so.
All right.
I
Well,
think we're fine with.
I think in our conversation you are having, that we kinda understand where we're at least sitting at.
We're
Yeah.
kind of fine with the 100, but it could possibly be more. But I would say it wouldn't be
We
less.
won't turn it
Would that be an agreement?
Yes.
Yep.
Do you want to,
If we need to make a, I
you
mean,
wanna
that is
make
right
that
on path with
commitment
calculation.
tonight, or just more or less table it until,
Well, the question is, okay, we're willing to do the 100, but is there more available? That's the question that we don't know until the finance committee meets.
But we could always add,
Add to-
We could add to it.
okay,
we could revise that later if we see that there's a value to extra money.
right?
Well, then I'll
So-
make the motion, we do 100,000 tonight.
I'll second that.
Okay. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Tara?
Thank you, we really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
very
Thank
much,
you.
you bet. All right. Then on, page 3, you will see a FEMA letter.
Well, we got special event liquor license.
Oh, a special, oh, yes, yeah, okay.
Good
We have,
try.
3 special events by Willie's Bar and Grill at the community center. Now, if you don't have any issues with any one of those, we could entertain a motion to
We'll
approve.
do all three at
All
once.
3 at once.
I would make that motion.
Okay, and basically for the motion has been made and
Second.
seconded to have a special event liquor license for Willie's Bar and Grill at the community center for the Wall Lake Hunting Club on October 23rd, Halloween benefit dance on October 28th, and a wedding dance on November 4th. Okay, having said that, have a motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Now, we can go to the FEMA letter of commitment.
I'd like to make a point there on that last one. That all 3 of those are being held at the community center.
Yes,
Right, exactly.
yes.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a good point. It is a good point. Okay, on page 3, you can see the, letter of commitment, dated today to Jim, Poppin, who is the South Dakota Office of Emergency Management out at, Pier. I can read that letter, to you regarding the letter of commitment as participating jurisdiction in Han County National Hazardous Mitigation Plan. And the letter reads, Dear Mr. Poppin, as a federal emergency management agency, FEMA local mitigation plan requirements under 44 CFR 201.6, specifically identifying criteria that allows for municipal jurisdictional mitigation plans, and that many issues are better resolved by evaluating hazards more comprehensively by coordinating at the county, regional, and waste shed level. City of Miller is submitting this letter of commitment to confirm that it has agreed to participate in the Han County Natural Hazard Mitigation Plan. Further, as a condition to participation in the mitigation planning process, the City of Miller agrees to meet the requirements for mitigation plans identified in 44 CFR 201.6 and to provide such cooperation as is necessary for Han County to complete the plan in conformance with the FEMA requirements. And the City of Miller understands that it must engage in the following planning process as more fully described in FEMA's Local Mitigation Plan Policy Guide released April 19, 2022, including but not limited to identification of hazardous unique to Miller not addressed in the master planning document, the conduct of vulnerability analysis and an identification of risk where they differ from the general planning area, the formulation of mitigating goals responsive to public input and development of mitigation actions Complementary to those goals, a range of actions must be identified specific for each jurisdiction. Demonstration that there has been offered an opportunity for participation in the planning process by all community stockholders or stakeholders. Examples of participation include relevant involvement in planning process, attending meetings, contributing research, data, and other information, commenting on drafts of the plan, etc. Documents of any effective process to maintain and implement the plan, and formal adoption of the multi-jurisdictional hazardous mitigation plan by the jurisdiction governing body. Therefore, with full understanding of the obligation incurred by participating in the FEMA hazardous mitigation planning process as a participant in the multi-jurisdictional plan, I commit the City of Miller to Han County Natural Hazardous Mitigating Plan effort executed this 16th day of October 2023. I would entertain a motion to enter into that commitment plan.
Make the motion.
I'll second it.
Discussion. Any, I can't recall doing this one in the past. I don't think there's anything other than entering into the multi-jurisdictional plan. I don't think there's anything with regard to that, okay? So we're okay with it, even though we had a hesitation on a second, so it's okay, all right? Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, Will?
Yeah, can you just explain actually what it is? I really don't know that I understand after listening to all that what it is.
Okay. The county and the city are supposed to have a FEMA mitigation plan. We actually have our own also, but we do have to join in with the county. Every entity within Han County has to join in with the counties. Theirs is number one, and then we also have our own mitigation plan. We do these on a regular basis. FEMA usually comes out, sends somebody out, helps us write up this mitigation plan. So this is just kind of a formality saying that, yes, we will be part of the counties. If something happens, we're all kind of in this together.
It's like an emergency plan, in
Emergency.
essence, right?
Just saying that we have a plan?
Yeah.
We have a plan. Our plan is in Terry's office. If anybody wants to read it as dry as this is. I doubt it.
Well, it's good to have something like this in place with the hopeful that it,
Never has to be.
Like life insurance, you buy it and hope you don't ever use it.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
exactly.
all right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Okay, on page 4 is a resolution 2023-7 contingency transfer, and I'll go through that when I scroll down. Sometimes bifocals and computers really work well together. I'm good. Oh, there you go.
Here,
Yeah, just
that's a
read
lot
it.
easier.
Yes, it is. Resolution number 2023-7, whereas insufficient appropriation was made in the 2023 adopted budget for the following departments to discharge its obligation of said appropriations, and whereas South Dakota SDCL 9-21-6.1 provides transfers to be made by resolution of the board from the contingency appropriations established pursuant to SDCL 9-21-6.1 to other appropriations. Therefore, be it resolved that the following appropriations be transferred from the contingency budget to the department budget. 41101 and 42101, property and liability insurance, $1,660 to the council, for the council. 41402, 42101, property and liability insurance to the finance department for $529. 42101 and 42101, property and liability insurance, $2,184 to the police department. 44900, 42,101, property and liability insurance to the health and welfare of $642, and 45,103, 42,101, property and liability insurance to $3,496 to the pool, with a total of $8,516. Adopted the 16th day of October, 2023.
And the way I understood it, correct me if I'm wrong, it's not so much that our property and liability insurance is more, because we obviously are paying the same, if not, I don't wanna get into those numbers, but we're not paying, it's just not structured the same as it was before, and that's why we have to do this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like the street department has a lot less, but these other departments were short.
Okay, so we just have to restructure because it wasn't appropriated to these departments.
The way ATI does their insurance is different than South Dakota Public
Okay,
Insurance.
so we're shuffling, not adding money or spending more money, we're just shuffling.
Like the law enforcement liability was $1,500 total with SDPA, and it was like 35, 45. I don't remember what it exactly was, but it was like a huge difference.
Right,
So
okay.
it's just kind of, council and
Restructuring,
finance was a lot higher.
Redistributing the wealth.
It was, yeah, which is kind of a deal.
okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty close to the same amount, it's just in the wrong buckets.
Okay. I'd entertain a motion to approve resolution 2023-7.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Okay, and then we have the first reading, right?
Yep.
Of the ordinance number 749. Be it ordained by the city of Miller that the following sum is supplement appropriated to meet the obligation of the municipality. 211 gross receipt taxes, 46,501, 45,101, community center for $8,000 sales tax. Source of funding, 3,100 and 3,100 gross receipt sales tax of $10,000 sales tax earned. So basically what we're doing is, this is a supplementary appropriation to meet our obligations, right?
We received a lot more gross receipt sales tax than what we budgeted. And since we give 80% of that to the community center, we have to supplement both sides, and I'm hoping we get around another $10,000 for the rest of the year. That's kind of where, that would put us right where we were at last year, so. Or the last 2 months would put us at the same, so the 10,000, so.
Okay,
So this has given us, yeah, our sales tax went up 10,000 more than last year. That's nice for the bed booze and board.
Good problem to have.
Yes, it's a good problem to have.
Question. With the sales tax and stuff, what is gonna happen when all the windmill people leave and all that? Do you have an idea when they started, to what it was gained, to what we're gonna lose?
It's kind of hard to tell because the windmill is just following after all of these other construction projects that we've had for the last 5 or 6 years, so I don't know where we'll be at when the construction, or if there is no construction around the Miller area. It could be a drop in sales tax. But we've had lots of years of a lot of extra people in town.
It seems like when somebody else leaves, someone else comes in.
Right.
yeah.
Cause do we get a portion, there's continued sales tax off of that project, isn't it, because they're selling power, or is that, I don't know how that works. If we,
Doesn't affect us at all.
we don't get anything from that.
Okay,
You have a bunch more.
all right. I'd entertain a motion to approve ordinance 749.
So moved.
Second?
Second,
Okay, roll call vote.
Oh, we don't need to,
Oh, that's right.
For the first reading.
I was
we don't need
wondering
to
if
vote.
we had to do all that.
No, that's right, for the first reading, my fault, thank you. You can have your, you can have your paper
You
back.
can't keep it.
Okay. All right, discussion with regard to the
We didn't,
Christmas.
we didn't vote.
Oh,
We don't need to on the
No,
first
not
one.
Oh, you don't even need to vote, just to
It's
read?
just informational on the first one.
And then the
Next
second
week,
one,
next time we vote on it.
yes, it's kind of a.
So we didn't even need a motion.
Correct.
I'll withdraw my motion.
Okay.
All right, okay, you're right, we did need a motion, my fault, okay. All right, the next thing on the agenda are the Christmas lights.
I'm gonna try to find that picture.
That's a pretty Christmas light.
Isn't that nice? Do you like that?
That's unique.
I'm gonna find it here. Dustin sent it to me, so I'll find something a little less than colored potato chips or whatever those are. I haven't quite figured out what they are.
Careful, read all your emails. Of course, I can't see them.
See. Maybe. Come on. Not one big one.
Right?
Yeah, it is. Come on.
Stubborn.
Oh, there I was about gonna go.
I was gonna say, you get your drawing crayons out, Dustin. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler. Oh, we have action.
Oops, not that one.
Oh,
There's your toy soldier. I don't know. They're on,
there's little arrows to right and left.
there we go. There we go.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's the one, huh?
That's the one.
Catch a
That's the
falling
one.
star.
And that is for,
You, I was gonna say, you want me to talk it all on that?
If you
Well,
want
we
to,
got the
or-
quote
We've
from
got the quote.
Dustin, not knowing that for 2 of the Christmas ornaments or decorations, was $1,190, and the shipping and handling is $1,070,
So basically, the shipping is almost as much
much as the lights.
the light.
That's it'd be
We have
cheaper to
some-
drive to Bloomington.
I think,
Well,
Dustin,
That's
do you
what he said.
wanna,
On
That's
that
it.
email, right? They're just- you got
It's
the
on the email?
You drive and pick 'em up. No.
Which is insane.
Last email
Yeah,
you sent
I don't-
today.
unfortunately, we do not allow it.
have you dealt with this company before?
No, I mean, well,
So-
display sales is where we got all of our, bulbs or LED bulbs that we did.
So we've done business with this company
Yep,
before.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
And they were the ones that got back to me on some quotes or some other ones that,
How's the shipping on that stuff?
well, these are 8 foot tall, they're just
They're
cumbersome.
huge. I
Like
told-
on your other stuff though, do
Yeah,
they
it was
have
fine.
really high shipping?
No, you're talking boxes of bulbs, you know.
Anytime you have an LTL on the fuel that's $4.50 a gallon, you're gonna pay out the wazoo.
Yeah,
Just that simple.
Yeah, thank you, Dustin.
so we're talking about lights at the four-way and the lanterns that are there. We re-welded them 2 years ago. This last year, it ripped the bracket and broke again. Instead of trying to keep fixing, we wanted to hopefully maybe replace them 2 that were the lantern. The other 2 poles were Christmas trees. I don't know what we have for funds. I just wanted to bring it to the attention to do something different on there. I don't know where we are for funds. I guess my recommendation would be that other picture up there was a Christmas tree. I don't know. I don't have a quote on that. The other drummer boy was a little bit cheaper than the Falling Star. I don't know, like I said, I don't know where we have for funds, but I'm wondering if we're gonna do something, we need to do something soon, or we're not gonna have them. I like to get them up before Thanksgiving because families travel, either Thanksgiving or Christmas, give people a chance to see them more. My recommendation, if we had the funds, or a thought, would be maybe we should just purchase all 4 for the whole 4-way, and let's see if we can get the shipping for all 4 of them at that price.
You would think that would make sense, huh?
I mean, we're gonna have to spend $1,000 more, or a little bit more than that.
Yeah,
but then at least you're
You're
saving
saving
that.
$1,000.
Yeah,
Right, so that would be, but I don't know where these funds come from, or,
How long does it take to get these?
if we don't, this quote that we have is actually up in here like tomorrow or the next day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Quoted on the 18th, so I'm assuming the 18th.
It's 30 days, yeah.
would you be able to talk to somebody
I,
like tomorrow and see if we'd have the same amount of shipping and handling?
See if we can
that's what I
piggyback
would
'em.
say, I guess
Yeah.
if the funds were there, that's what I would do, contingency on if they will honor that same shipping
Same shipping.
price.
Right, yeah, cause
And
that's
then-
just crazy otherwise.
And then I'd also have to get the quote for I assume you'd wanna go Christmas trees, the other ones are Christmas trees.
Yeah, that'd be
Um,
nice.
I'd have to get that quote, but, I mean, we're talking, these are 8-footers, so
Sure.
I would think it'd be right in that same ballpark, that $600 mark, so. They were really good today when I called them, and they got me this new estimate within a couple hours, so.
Okay,
I would be way more apt to say yay on doing 4
right.
with this one shipping rather than 2 and then 2 next year, the same thing. And
What, yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Where's the
it makes-
funding at, Shayla?
That's what I was gonna, that was the follow-up to my next
It was the
question.
sheet.
Now, where does this come from?
Yeah, right.
But if it's
We've had
available, it
not-
would make more sense to do it that way.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, we've
If
had
the
nothing but
shipping
troubles.
isn't
Right,
If the
another
shipping doesn't
$1,000
double.
bucks.
right, and that's the question.
Yeah, I just don't wanna put them other 2 Christmas lights back up.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, and you made a good point, if we can piggyback on the same truck, it's not like the 2 lights are gonna take a whole truck up,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know, do they put them together? I don't
Or
know.
they're probably bundling.
Yeah,
They're gonna come in pieces. It's gonna take you a year to put them together.
we'll probably have to come and
He's
help
got a
you put 'em
welder, trust
together.
me, it won't take that long.
So are you
Yeah.
wanting to order the Christmas trees or you wanting to order the stars? Which were you thinking?
We
Whoops,
would do 2 of each.
2 of each?
Yeah, if the Christmas trees are about that same price, and so at the
You know
end of the deal, I mean, add another $1,000 on there, so you'd be looking at $3,300 is
Anywhere
what I
from
would
33
roughly.
to 4,000, right around there.
Yep, yep. So where are your funds at?
Well, our promotion is city, we have about 1,800 right now left. So we'd have to supplement from contingency fund for another 1,000 or 1,300 or whatever it might be. Or on hand, no.
We have some beautification budget money available yet.
Oh.
I think we can talk our board into coming up with the rest of it.
Them are,
Good.
I mean, kind of modern, newer lights.
And
I
that's
guess.
definitely a beautification project.
Mm-hmm,
And it's not just 1 year, it's gonna last quite a while.
oh, yeah.
Barring any storms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
How long do the lights last? Is that what you're asking? I think the ones we've had have been forever, hasn't it?
That's a long time.
I don't think it's been forever, but it's been a long
Either
time.
though, so.
But to make this project possible, Ian could assist in that through our beautification.
That sounds good.
Allocate for that.
That's awesome,
That's
thank you.
great. Thank
Yeah,
you very
that'd
much.
be great.
We're here to work together.
Yeah.
See why we give them money?
There you
yeah.
go.
That's what I give back.
Okay,
Are
Okay.
we looking at budgeting to do a few lights every year?
I think we
The rest
should,
of them
if-
are getting in bad shape. Do we need to be planning
These,
ahead?
the lantern ones were the ones that really were a pain.
They take the most beating up there on
Yeah,
the
they-
four-way.
Yeah,
Cause you got the wind from every direction to hit
that's
them.
true.
That is correct. That's,
So maybe we
But
should look.
the
well,
other ones
stars
we've
should
already
do well
installed
better.
all new LEDs. I mean, they look
Right.
way better than what
you know, it'd be
they
nice
did
to
when I first
buy a couple
come.
every year and.
So-
without all that
Thi-
expense.
this would be a good step in the right direction. I'm not saying that we need to look at any more next year unless
Okay.
we have a huge storm or something,
Mhm.
so.
So could we do like a motion to, buy 4
if the shipping
If the
doesn't
shipping,
cost.
yeah, stays close to
Contingent
the
upon-
same, yeah.
Cause right now
Right.
for two, you're paying
Yeah.
the same for shipping as you are for two decorations.
Right.
And it
And
might
if
go up a
that-
little bit,
Might go up
but
a little.
If that does work, would we spend the whole 1,800 then? And then would you cover the rest, or, I mean, I just
We'll
don't know how
figure-
that.
yeah. We'll
I
figure
didn't
that
know if
out,
we had to
whatever-
have
Yeah.
a, because if I call them tomorrow,
You'll wanna order them tomorrow.
yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
need to if we're gonna get them in time, and that's still
Right.
crossing our fingers, hoping that.
Well, I would make the motion, we pick up 4 of them, with us covering that's between Shayla and our Economic Board. If they would cover the difference, I would do the 4, if we can keep the shipping close to what it is.
Well, do we want all 4 of them the same on the 4 corners, or do you want
No,
two
no,
and
they're
two?
gonna be
It'll
two
be
trees.
two stars,
and two
two
stars.
trees.
2 stars, 2 trees.
Or do you think that would be better if they were all
I
four
just
the
like the
same?
looks of 4, but I'm not kind of a black and white type of person.
Oh,
I mean,
I see.
like,
OCD.
I know.
There you go.
I'm gonna paint one of the bulls.
There you go. There we go. There we do.
I see
We
what
don't
you're
have the
saying.
same thing on each side.
So that's up to whatever you guys wanna.
Get some wreaths put on the bulls too while we're at it.
Oh, there
There
you
you
go.
All right, so I have a motion.
I'll second Mike's motion.
Thanks,
Okay,
Will.
and a second. Discussion,
4 new lights.
okay. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion carries.
And then we'll decide if they want the 4 the same or 2 and 2. Bend this up the
Okay,
4-way.
perfect,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay,
Will
I'll
that
need
be
to-
up to the women on the,
2 and 2. Change it up.
You let me know, I'm gonna need to know.
any
about it tomorrow.
discussion?
He needs to know tomorrow.
We already had the discussion, the motion was for 2 and 2.
That's right.
Sorry, Shayla.
I just put 4 new lights.
I like all 4, but
We can do 3 in 1.
no.
Well, maybe they'll say, oh, if you do 4 of the
Two
same,
wreaths
the
for the
shipping
bull.
will stay the same.
As long as they're beautiful, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There'll be an improvement.
Okay, moving forward, one last thing on the item here is a building permit by Clint Smith, which is basically an accessory building. It's a new construction, 10 by 12. It's,
Thank
See you
you.
later.
Thank you.
thank you very much. Yes. Okay, it was a kit purchased from, Menards and stuff, so. And everything looks like it's
all signed off.
off.
I'd move to approve the building permit.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. All right.
So Mike made a very good point, and I will ask that tomorrow. Let's say that shipping does change. I will ask that question, because if they are the same,
Different size crates might,
they might shove them together, and then the shipping might stay the
Right.
same. But if
Right.
it does change, so there's that way that could end up with 4 if
Either
it
way.
is cheaper.
either way, that would make sense.
I'm just, I don't know how their crates are gonna, but that is a good point you brought up.
Yeah.
As far as what?
If they're all the same size box,
Oh,
it's
gotcha.
easier to strap them down than if you have 2 different,
So we'll do 4 stars?
depending on what the shipping
Yeah.
If they say that it changes because they're different.
size,
gotcha.
different size.
Whereas if they're the same, they mash them together and put them in the same crate,
Right?
then the shipping might stay.
And
And Shayla
4
could-
stars would work then, right?
Perfect.
Yeah, Shayla could potentially.
Shayla can be happy.
She could have her 4
Well, I
stars.
was kinda going that way with
Okay,
Shayla.
well,
Oh, stop it.
Now, she's gonna call them in the morning and tell them.
yeah, I need all the papers for this, so I make.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, ladies, you bet. So you're pretty clear on,
I know what I need to do.
He knows what his,
okay, all right, okay, so we're fine with that, okay.
play hard.
So we've, done the building, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Everybody have a chance to look over the bills?
Yep. Motion to approve the bills.
Second.
Discussion?
Who's second over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion
Thanks.
carries.
Thanks,
All right,
Dustin.
Thank you. Okay, I'd entertain a motion to go in executive session pursuant
sign
of
those?
personnel with,
Make the motion.
employee wages.
Second.
Okay, there was a lot of seconds.
Will seconded
Just
it.
pick one.
Just grab one.
You gotta leave.
We're kicking you out
4.
at 4, Tom?
Oh, did you want something?
8:04, it looks like on my phone.
So Go ahead. I'll
Oh.
tell you where we're at before that. I did not get to talk to the lawyer that come. So initially, when this is all set up,
Sorry.
the city entered into a 5-year engineering contract with Burbach. That expires in January of next year, so in 3 months.
Well, it kinda depends on how they
Yeah.
want